Alright, hello everybody. Okay, so my next video, hopefully it's an interesting video. I guess it's mainly targeted to martial art teachers, martial art masters, specifically those who are currently training the younger generation. And this hopefully should be a fun subject. I do remember years back, while I was still training to get my black sash, certain frustrations with this subject. But now that years have passed, I'm looking at it in a more positive light, a more more entertaining and informative point of view. So, as you may have heard, we have different generations. We have the boomers, we have the millennials, Generation X, Generation Z. All the generations that are coming up. I think we're in Generation Z right now, or I'm not. I haven't really done my research on the exact terminology. I think it's Z. So basically, what the subject is, it's training the new martial arts student. So, times have changed. Now, being a martial arts teacher and training martial arts students, it is a business. Obviously, it's a way of life. Something that's a way of life. Something that could be a passion. Obviously, can become a career, can become a job. No, not a job. Can become a career. Can become the way that you live. And that's great. I'm trying to word it in a way where I'm trying to say it's in a positive aspect. If you're a martial arts teacher and you want to pass down generations and generations of knowledge down to a new generation, that's great. Obviously, the martial art teachers, we're looking to give that knowledge to those individuals who will use it responsibly, those who have an interest in passing it down, interest in the culture. And I believe this was all martial arts. I'm not limited to the kung fu that I practice at, but I'm talking about all martial arts styles. We live on by the teachings. Yes, now we have online videos, YouTube, different forums where you'll see the history of each martial art, videos on how-tos to the martial art. But martial art teachers, martial art masters are alive and well, still teaching a younger crowd. So teaching the new student is basically what I want to talk about in this subject. I can go on and on when it comes to this, but so back then, I could probably say I'm probably before turning 18. We me and the group of practitioners that trained with my teacher, we were all on the same level when it comes to what we wanted with the martial arts. We wanted to get better, and we wanted to get better at all cost. Basically saying, if our teacher needed us to train 6 days a week because he wanted us to learn something that's vitally important, something that takes a lot of time to learn, we would learn it. We would make time in our day to make sure that we practice whatever we had to practice. If we know the subject was to become a better fighter using a better technique, we would practice that technique. We practice that technique on each other so that we can better that technique, make it fast, make it strong, make it easy to do, so that instead of thinking of the technique, it would just come out naturally with muscle memory. basically making a habit of our movements. So we did what needed to be done. If our teacher told us, okay, you're gonna learn this new form, it's a more advanced form. Again, if you guys don't know what forms are, they're what karate would call katas. They're basically a set of movement and techniques, normally centered to fighting multiple opponents, but in your own style. So we would practice that form. As complicated as it was, we'd practice it until we got it down. If it took us a month to get it down due to its complexity, then we would most likely be practicing a month's worth of training to get it down. So, and that was us back then. Now, as we would practice, we would see new students come in. And obviously, to run a business, you need customers, you need clients. You need to survive off your passion as well, if you're deciding to make that into a business. So, you would find martial arts students that just didn't want to put in the time. Now, back then, I'm not gonna lie, we would look down on those students. We're thinking like, what are you doing here? Why are you wasting your time? Why don't you put in extra time when you go home? Why don't you, if you have to practice a kick, a punch, a block, and that you're forgetting it and not getting it down, why don't you go home and practice it, while it's still fresh in your head? I mean, it makes sense, if when you go to school, you get homework. So you do your homework in order to learn the subject better. Apply the same thing to martial arts, If you learn a set of movements, you learn a punch, you learn a form, you learn a weapon, you would most likely go home and practice that weapon, practice that movement. But that wasn't happening. And I'm not talking about like the practitioners, like the parents that put the kids into martial arts because they want the kid to, learn all these great qualities of martial arts by force. No, I'm talking about like students from our adult class that chose to be in the martial arts. So that was really baffling to us, why you would choose to join a martial art and not do the things that require you to become better in the martial arts. So again, very baffling, and it did get on our nerves because we always felt it was a bit of a waste of time. But obviously that was a me back then, where seeing all the basically all the benefits to the martial arts, seeing all the movements that still need to be learned in such a short lifetime, because even if we have 100 years of life, that's still not enough time to really absorb all the culture and all the techniques from your own style. Martial arts is a way of life. It's not just a hobby where you do it when you want to. But times have changed. As a martial arts teacher, you got to realize that a lot of these new students, they want results fast. And with any other subject, that can happen. If you want to watch a movie right now, let's say a movie just came out like a week ago, and you want to watch it right now, but you don't want to go to the movies. You have Netflix, Amazon Prime, you have Hulu, you have all sorts of ways to stream that. You can have things at your disposal a lot quicker. But with the martial arts, that just can't happen. Even if you go on YouTube and learn a kick, you're not guaranteed to know that kick to its full potential, because you still require to practice that kick. I can assure you, if somebody who just learned how to do a front kick attacks me with a front kick, even if they hit me, it's not gonna have the level of strength or speed needed to actually cause damage. Not only that, their body might not even be conditioned to do a front kick. I've seen a lot of people kick a punching bag for the very first time with all their strength, and they end up hurting that part between the hip and the thigh. I've seen it happen when they think, oh, I'm strong, I can kick a bag really hard, and then they get injured. Why? Because They didn't practice in moderation. They didn't train their body, because again, our bodies are not meant to fight. We're not meant to hurt each other. If that was the case, we wouldn't get broken bones. We wouldn't get cuts on our skin. Like we're not meant to fight. But obviously martial arts is a self-defense in case you had to fight. But there's no winners in a fight. The winners are the ones that don't fight. Regardless, without trailing off. So even learning a single movement takes training, takes your body to be trained, takes repeating the movement over and over again to make sure you got it down right so you don't injure yourself. So yeah, nowadays, some of these students, they don't want to put in the work, or they'll quit. Now again, there's nothing wrong with that. But from the viewpoint of a martial arts teacher, you need business. You need those students as well as you need what we call the disciples. The martial art disciples, the ones that actually devote their time, their energy into learning the martial arts. There's a huge difference. If you see a UFC fighter that's proficient in their martial art and is still learning, it's because they love the art of fighting, and they love practicing the martial arts. And they made it to a profession. You see a UFC fighter, an MMA fighter, the ones who are taking it serious and actually entering the ring, it's because they want to do that. Yeah, nobody says, okay, they're hiring at the gas station, they're hiring at McDonald's, or they're hiring at a fast food place, or they're hiring at the UFC, to fight. Cool, I'll do that. It's not really how it happens. You gotta have skill. You gotta know what you're doing. To my knowledge, nobody just gets into the UFC. Nobody just gets into a televised fight. They actually need to show that they know. They have some level of skill. They know what they're doing. Regardless, those individuals, you don't need to tell them to train. They'll train. But yeah, a lot of the students nowadays, some of them maybe realize they don't want to be there. But at the same time, they're customers. They're paying customers, and as times are changing, you're gonna realize that you're gonna get students that just they want what they want. So I guess now getting to like the good part of the video is the why has to be explained now. There's a lot of why now. Like if you watch martial art movies, if you talk to a traditional martial artist, you don't really get a why. You get a do this, do this, do this, do that, and then years later you realize you're actually a really good martial artist. But nowadays, the younger crowd, they want the why. Why am I doing this punch? Why do I gotta do forms? Why do I gotta do stances? Why? That's just not with the martial arts. That's with even employees that get hired to a job. They want to know the why they do everything, regardless if they're getting paid or not. They want to know the why, and it's the same thing for the new martial arts student. They want to know why. They want to know the hidden martial arts secret behind the movements on the first day. They do have that. I'm a paying customer, and I want what I'm paying for. But in the martial arts, it doesn't really work that way. But as an instructor, you do got to give some why. If you're teaching a student a form, you got to at least give them some insight of why they're doing the form. The do it or get out no longer works out because it's a business. Now, if you're a martial arts teacher and you're not doing it for money, you're not doing it for to build a career from it, you're just doing it because you want to teach the actual traditional martial art that then you can choose your own student. You could tell a student, you don't want to learn what I have to teach, then get out of here. And obviously that's usually the dream of a martial arts master. But I mean, if you're gonna make a career out of it, yeah, you can't do that. No, you need customers. No, maybe, with time, some of those customer students will become students, the ones that actually said, oh, you know what, I get why I gotta work hard to become a better martial artist. I get why I gotta work hard so that my confidence can be built, so that I can build a strong character, so I can become a hard worker, so I learn how to learn better. But yeah, I mean, this video is just I guess a little rant on how times have changed, and a lot of these practitioners that are choosing to learn martial arts, they have a different mentality when it comes to how martial arts was traditionally trained. And I mean, the same way they gotta adapt to what martial arts is, I guess we gotta adapt to the way they learn, the way they want to learn. All right, so I know I trolled on with this video. We're like at 16 minutes, but for those martial art instructors that understand where I'm coming from, you might find some entertainment to this video. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave a comment. I appreciate the likes, the dislikes. Again, I can't see the dislikes, but I would like all your guys' input on what I'm saying. Now, again, I didn't really go into the depth of this subject. I'm just, again, it's 16 minutes is not enough to go over the psychology of the way of martial arts. All right, guys, have a great day. And if I don't say it, I'll say it right now. Happy New Year's, entering 2023. All right, guys.